You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
Good morning, everyone. So glad you're with us here at 6 a.m. Hope you had a really nice weekend. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Neda Irampur. Thank you very much for being here with us. We're so excited to have this newly remodeled set. Everything, hopefully you're enjoying at home, but we are loving it.
It's like a new school, like a new classroom, new office space here. It smells new. We've got 8 high-tech cameras and monitors surrounding us. So lots of fun toys that we have here. Evan.
No one has seen the three of us in one camera shot in like 2 months.
Yes, exactly.
How about that? And you get a little view of what the studio has to offer.
And you got your own little weather center.
My own spaceship.
And traffic.
Yes, exactly.
Don't leave us.
Can do it all from here. I like to call it my spaceship.
Taking off on us.
Let's take a look at the forecast. Hey, I need it considering the rain that's coming our way. We've got a lot to jump into in the forecast today, and that includes showers that begin this morning, but will come again by the evening hours, the in-between, the afternoon time frame. We might get a little bit of the sun peeking through. Today is just setting the stage for the wet weather that will really pick up into tomorrow. Tuesday, Election Day, widespread rain across the county, up to an inch for your coastal and inland communities. Mountains can pick up on even more, but today things are staying light, enough to wet the roads, need the windshield wipers maybe, and keep that jacket on hand tomorrow, today, and even into early Wednesday. We could encounter just a few of those showers to start off the morning commute by Wednesday. For now, activity is light on satellite radar imagery. As you can see, just a little bit of green out there, but this is all going to pick up into early tomorrow. So more details on how much to expect and how all that's going to time out. It's coming up in just a few.
All right, Evan, thank you very much. And today, the community remembering a 16-year-old girl shot and killed in National City.
A candlelight vigil will be held for Jillian Del Valle. She and 18-year-old Edwin Barrera were killed after a Halloween house party. Police are still looking for the shooter. Jillian's 19-year-old sister was also fatally shot 2 years ago. The vigil to honor Jillian is happening at 4:30 p.m. in front of Bonita Vista High School. This morning, police are looking for the driver who they say deliberately crashed into the front of a Vons in University City. It happened around 5 p.m. yesterday. Police tell us a man was kicked out of the store on Regents Road and then came back 20 minutes later and hit the doors with his van. Fortunately, no one was hurt. No word on why the man was initially asked to leave the business.
And now let's talk about the Powerball, shall we? The jackpot, a record $1.9 billion for tonight's drawing. No winning tickets were sold for Saturday night's drawing. CBS 8's Anna Laurel joining us from outside of Rite Aid in Encinitas. This spot seems like a lucky one. Someone won a ticket that's worth $1 million over the weekend. So not the full Powerball, but hey, I don't think they're complaining about that $1 million win, Anna.
Wouldn't you love to have just an extra $1 million this morning, Neda? Now, the ticket was sold, like you said, right here behind me at this Rite Aid. I'm off Manchester Avenue in Encinitas. The numbers on the ticket matched 5 of the winning ticket numbers, okay? But it did not match the Powerball, so that's why they won the $1.1 million, and that's why the jackpot is growing again tonight, $1.9 billion with a B. But again, that $1 million, the smaller lotto ticket, was right here, was sold right here behind me.
Oh, you're so excited to hear that.
It's pretty cool that somebody won.
So exciting. We're hoping that churns up the universe so someone else around San Diego might win tonight's big Powerball jackpot. Again, it sits at $1.9 billion. The odds of taking home the entire jackpot, just 1 in 292 million. But we're saying there is a chance. The next drawing is tonight at 8 p.m. If someone wins it, it'll set a new record for the largest lottery prize ever. A winner has the option to get that prize money every year spread out over 20 years or as a lump sum payment, get this, of $929 million after taxes. Not too bad. The last time the Powerball jackpot was this high, winning tickets were sold right here in California, Florida, and Tennessee. You can either pick the numbers yourself or you can go in and just tell them you want a quick pick. And of course, tickets are just $2 each. Live here in Encinitas, I'm Anna Laurel for CBS 8.
All right, Election Day is tomorrow. This means that 218 voting centers are open around San Diego County. Today they will operate from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and you can vote in person or drop off your mail-in ballot. Out of the nearly 2 million ballots mailed out, just over 480,000 have been returned and over 7,000 people have now voted in person. Meantime, President Biden and 3 former presidents spent the weekend crisscrossing the country to drive voter turnout for their party. CBS News correspondent Skylar Henry joining us live from Capitol Hill now with the latest. Getting real close here, Skylar.
Hey there, good morning to you. It absolutely is as we enter the final 24 hours before the midterms. I think it's important to point out the fact that we are seeing these big names. You talked about the presidents that are making their way to these battleground states with these tightly contested races, making sure that every voter out there gets out there and heads to the ballot. Something else that I think is important to pay attention to, the Republican and Democratic candidates themselves in several different races across the country, all sort of fine-tuning their last-minute messages, their closing arguments, if you will, keying in on those issues that are at the top of minds for voters. Over the weekend, 4 U.S. presidents hit the campaign trail. A day after President Biden and former President Barack Obama made a joint push for Pennsylvania's Democrats, Mr. Biden went to New York.
This election isn't a referendum, it's a choice. It's a choice between 2 fundamentally different visions of America.
Former President Donald Trump also went to Pennsylvania Saturday, then to Florida on Sunday.
You need to vote every Democrat out of office and vote for Republicans up and down the ballot.
While former President Bill Clinton was in Nevada.
Everything I worked for all my life is on the line now.
History in the midterms typically favors the party not currently holding the presidency. As candidates make their final push, they're trying to motivate voters through a series of hot-button key issues, like crime.
What we're here talking about in the need to fight crime shouldn't even be viewed as a Democrat versus Republican issue.
We have to continue getting illegal guns out of the hands of people who do harm to others.
And inflation.
Look at the economy. Right, look at the economy. They've destroyed it.
I'm going to keep working on this issue to bring down costs.
Threats to election officials and political violence remain a concern heading into tomorrow. A federal intelligence bulletin recently warned that domestic violent extremists across the ideological spectrum pose a heightened threat to the midterm and beyond Election Day, though there are no specific threats currently. There's something else to point out here. In addition to the tens of millions who have made their way to the polls, one research group says that this might be the most expensive midterm in American history, totaling some $17 billion going to both federal and state races. Guys, back to you.
Interesting.
All right. Countdown is on here. Get those ballots filled out. All right. Thanks, Skylar. And be sure to tune in to CBS 8 for all of your election coverage. We're going to have the latest results Wednesday morning after the election. And you can always get updates on our website, social media pages, and our CBS 8 app. Because as we know, tomorrow may be election night, but a lot of the information, the data, the numbers, the close calls are on Wednesday morning, and that makes it a really fun day for us.
It will be exciting, yes, Wednesday morning. And a big heads up, I mean, for people who think, oh, it's going to rain, I don't want to wait in line. The good news is so many early people were voting. There may not be lines at your polling centers tomorrow.
And lots of options.
I think a lot of people hold on to their ballot after filling it out at home and then drop it off. So that's an option too. Exactly. You can get your sticker, but just make sure to drop it off. If you're voting in person, you can still do that, of course.
But today,
yeah, it might be a little rainy out there. That's the downside, of course, is that tonight into early Wednesday even, we're going to be seeing widespread rain coming our way. It's a cloudy start to the morning out there. Some of our roads are wet as we start off the day, but things are very light in general. So we're not seeing all that much precipitation come through. What we're seeing on our satellite radar imagery is just a few light scattered showers all the way through San Diego County. Up in LA County, we're seeing the bulk of precipitation take place, but way north of that in the Monterey area, San Francisco area, take a look at this atmospheric river that's continuing to just push south. So by tomorrow, we're going to start to see this really affect our area. Above 6,000 feet, that's where the snow is coming down. Our San Diego County mountains likely won't see much snow, if any, into the next 24, 48 hours or so. But what we're watching is the arrival of this trough of low pressure. Take a look. Here's Tuesday, tomorrow at 9 p.m. You can see how pretty much the entirety of the California coast is going to be encountering those rain showers. This will then head east. We'll see a ridge of high pressure build behind it. That'll give us dry skies Wednesday through the upcoming weekend. Temperatures will start to recover. We'll see about average conditions out there, very mild. But following that, that, we've got two troughs of low pressure, one up around the Pacific Northwest, the other looking to head our direction. So what we have to keep in mind is that these are relatively far out and that this ridge is really what we're keeping our sights set on after this atmospheric river passes. But it just kind of gives us that foreshadowing that maybe November isn't quite as dry as you might suspect, right? We could really start to tap in to more and more moisture throughout this month. Between today and Wednesday, temperatures are going to fall. Wind is going to pick up dramatically. This evening, we're looking at wind primarily over your mountains and deserts, but by Tuesday, widespread winds in the 20, 30, 40 mile per hour range along your coast and your inland valleys. The bulk of the rain coming down on Tuesday and then tapering off early Wednesday. Those temperatures are going to try to recover into Thursday and Friday. View outside for now, gorgeous. You got 60-degree temperatures as we kick off the morning. Right now, humidity is pretty high, of course, and it's going to stay high for the next about 48 hours or so. That pressure dropping, right? Low pressure moving into the area. Winds are still pretty light in the single digits. Those will intensify about 24 hours from now. Let's take a look at traffic as we kick off the morning. So far, things have been light on the roads. We will, however, take you to one crash that looks to be just around the South Bay area. So I'll zoom in specifically to about the Chula Vista area, and it looks like that's where this crash has taken place, already causing some delays on the 5 northbound. Looks like the number 1 lane there is blocked on the 5 northbound at Mile of Cars Way. CHP on scene working to clear that crash, but we'll keep you updated. Right now, probably a better plan to switch over to the 805 if you want to make a quicker commute up north.